Guys, welcome to the Higher Level podcast. Coming straight to us from Florida, we have Jim Alers coming on the show, UFC veteran, Cage Warriors veteran as well, and currently duking it out in the bare knuckle world and doing extremely well for him at the moment. Listen, thanks very much for coming on the show, Jim. We appreciate it.
Of course, man.
A little bit different for us in the show. Obviously, I'm having to do things from my home at the moment because we're not just in Scotland, globally, we're in lockdown, as we've been discussing off camera. One thing I wanted to ask you about is something. We see the health implications of what's going on at the moment, but there is other effects economically for yourself as a gym owner. How difficult a time is this? Because you're effectively having to close the business down.
Yeah, so at first, me being relatively a newer gym owner too, I've only been open about a year and a half, and I was pretty worried. But I have about a little bit over 100 students, and I can tell you, of course, every single one of my students' names. I can tell you what they do for a living. I can tell you their spouses' names, their kids' names, because I've made that personal connection with each and one of my students. I'm not just someone who's just trying to take their money and they're just another member. I really care for them. And I understand that this is affecting everybody, Yeah. And I didn't get into the gym business to make money. I'm not saying I'm the richest guy in the world, but I was smart with my fight money. And, I got into the gym business because I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching. I want to give back to the sport that gave me so much. So, for me, I kind of thought about what I needed to survive, to keep the doors open in the gym. I'm not thinking about profit right now. I feel if you are a gym owner and you're thinking about profit right now, that is very selfish of you. And I think we need to stick together, work together, and work with your students, and if they can afford it and they want to help you and they want to pay their full tuition, awesome. But let your students know that you're thinking about them and offer them different options. Don't act like nothing's happening and just take their full membership every month. Knowing that everyone's struggling, everyone's out of a job right now. We're not the only one. So my thing is just really show the world kindness right now, and everyone should be helping each other out.
Yeah, and I know, Jim, you've been doing online classes and stuff like that as well. So is that something you're putting out to your students as well? Just, we're obviously all locked in our homes at the moment, which we're not used to. So is this something that just keeps them physically and mentally active as well, something you can give to them?
Yeah, so at first, I was just going to do the YouTube classes. Yeah. But then, personally for me, I feel like anybody could watch YouTube classes, Yeah. But you don't get that personal interaction that you get when you go to a regular class. So when you're doing the live Zoom classes or Skype, as we're doing right now, right, you get that interaction that that as human beings we thrive for. We want to talk to people. We're social people, and so I do Zoom classes actually 3 times a day. Once for kids and 2 for adults. And they're loving it right now. I think it's something probably though that I'll continue to do. Probably, I'll do a Zoom class on Sundays or something that I can do from home. They can do from home. And I think it's something that my students are definitely enjoying.
Yeah. So ultimately this is something you've done. You've done throughout this sort of crisis we're in at the moment, but it's something you can then continue to do, and it will again benefit your students going forward.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that they enjoy. They get to ask me questions. They can go back and look at it, rewind it. So I get a good group every class. But like everyone, I'm sure that we're going to take some losses in memberships. It's just how it is. No matter how much the member loves to be at the gym and they want to support it. When things start going bad and people look at their bills and they see, okay, is it food this week or jiu-jitsu? I'm sure people are going to have to freeze or cancel. Thankfully, I haven't had too many of those. We're still doing good. I offered all my students a discount for the next couple of months if they stuck with me. I gave them a discount beyond it, so not just the next 2 months, but I said, hey, if you're sticking with me now, I'm going to give you guys a discount for 6 months because, that's showing me loyalty, and I want to give back to you guys for that.
Yeah, and as a gym owner, I commend you on that. I would love to see every gym doing that with their students, and I'm sure that's going to mean in the future your gym is going to continue to grow and be successful. We'd like to talk to you a wee bit about obviously your fight career. You've fought all over the world. You've fought at the highest level. A particular fight I'd like to go back to, obviously with the Higher Level podcast, which is a gym Graham Turner was based out of, a gentleman you fought in Cage Warriors. Do you recall that fight? You got the victory, submission victory.
Which fight was this?
Against Graham Turner.
Oh man, that was a great fight. I was campaigning for that fight big time. At the time, Graham Turner was, one of the top guys in Europe, and I knew that, I had to beat this guy. They were trying to push him, and I said, I know I can do it. He's a great guy, man. Awesome guy. But I knew that I had to get through him to make it to the next level. And I think that was my last fight before I got into the UFC.
Yeah, it was before you went into the UFC, and obviously, let's say Cage Warriors' biggest promotion in Europe, and UFC the biggest promotion in the world. When you look back at your time in the UFC, you're a guy that's known to have a fantastic ground game, but you also you like to get in there and throw hands as well. When you reflect back on your time at the UFC, what's your thoughts on your time in that promotion?
I think, some people, when they get to that top, they take it and they drive with it. And I think into the UFC, I was in just many different things, but ultimately, I don't think my mind was there. Mm-hmm. And when your mind's not there, you already lost the battle. No matter how much I tricked myself and told myself, oh, you're in the best shape of your life, this, that. I know I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I wasn't working as hard as I could have been. And definitely my mind wasn't there. It was all over the place. And it showed, and I paid for it. All my fights were either very exciting still, or I lost very close. I only had 2 losses, really. Split decision loss, and another one that was really pretty controversial. But and then I had a no contest. So bad luck in the UFC. But I believe everything happens for a reason, and I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it wasn't for that experience.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing with the UFC. If you're not, everything's not 100% there in the UFC. It can be extremely difficult as the pinnacle of MMA. But like you say there, maybe things went right in the UFC, but you've now, first of all, I'd like to know, you've transitioned into bare knuckle boxing. You're a guy I always looked at, and everybody would speak about having a great ground game, and that was, your ground game was fantastic, but you've went into bare knuckle boxing, and so far you've been perfect in there. You seem to have found a home. So tell us about the switch to bare knuckle boxing.
Man, I've always believed that I've had good hands. If you look back at my early MMA career, I would just come at people right off the bell. Swing, 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 swing. I dropped a lot of people, right? But what would happen is that I would just use my hands so that I can take people down. Once I got their hands up, I shot in, or I made them shoot on me. And then I said, okay, now that we're on the ground, I'm comfortable. The thing is now with bare knuckle, I'm doing the same thing, but I don't have the option to take them down. So I'm just hitting them because that's the only thing I can do. And it's working. Everyone's seeing, oh man, this guy has power. He has speed. He has aggressiveness that it's hard to come by. And I'm glad that I kind of made that venture into it. It was a weird decision to go into it, but I'm glad I did.
Do you feel then that, do you almost feel like you're suited to bare knuckle boxing? Your results seem to show that you're suited to it because you're doing fantastic. Do you feel like you're kind of suited to bare knuckle boxing then?
What was that? Sorry,
what I'm saying is, do you feel like your style is then suited to bare knuckle boxing because you're doing so well?
Yeah, it's weird, but I've bare knuckle fought a lot when I was just a kid. We would do it for fun and we would film it. This is before I even knew about the UFC. There's a guy in America. He was a big fighter called Kimbo Slice. Yeah. He fought in the UFC and stuff, but he was a street fighter down here in Miami where I'm from. And I
think we've lost you.
Oh, no.
No, I've got you. It's okay. On you go. We've got you.
we would do bare knuckle boxing in our backyard. And, originally that's what I would do. And so I got hit up by the matchmaker at first. And, he's like, hey, Jim, I want to bring you into one of these bare knuckle. And at first, what they offered me, I was like, no way. That's crazy. I am not going to do it for that. And then the CEO, David Feldman, called me himself, kind of apologized for the offer that they gave me and gave me a good offer. And, I'm a smart guy, man. I've been in the game a long time. I know like what fighters are worth. I'm a matchmaker for a promotion here. And, I was like, oh man, that's good. That's UFC money.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why not? I was retired from MMA. That originally I'm retired. And, I had just opened up my gym and I was like, hey, this money could be good towards the gym. And what was awesome is that it's guaranteed. Win or lose, you're going to make the same. So you fight differently when you're guaranteed money than when you're, hey, if I win, I get this. If I lose, I don't. I think a lot of people in the UFC fight not to lose, not to win. Yeah. If you know what I mean. Like they'll win, but they're not fighting to win. They're just fighting not to lose. And I think that's how I used to be in the UFC. When I got there, I was like, oh my goodness, I just made it to here. I made it to this spot. And I didn't want to lose. And now I'm fighting with no concerns. I'm just having fun. And I say, I'm not going to change my style. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go guns blasting every time. And I'm either going to knock you out or I'll get knocked out trying, or we'll have a fight of the year like I just had with Caleb Harris.
And obviously right now it's working. So everything's going great in the promotion. What I wanted to ask as well, obviously, what's the preparation like for a bare knuckle fight versus an MMA fight where there's a lot of heavy wrestling and stuff going on? Is it less taxing on the body preparing for a bare knuckle fight? Man,
I think people think I'm crazy or that I'm lying when I say this maybe, but I just train with my students 95% of the time. I have mostly white belts, a lot of amateur fighters, and I just train with them regularly. I train jiu-jitsu. I train wrestling. I train kickboxing. I'll do the MMA with my students. And I might do mitts with my boxing coach maybe once or twice a week, 4 weeks out from a fight. Yeah. And I don't spar. I don't spar at all anymore.
So then I would think then that you're not putting your body through as much leading up to a fight. So when you're going into the fight, you're fresh and you're not injured and hurt all the time. Is that true?
Correct. So my main goal is to be able to not stop punching for 2 minutes. I don't care what's happening. I need to keep punching, be the more active fighter. So my goal now mostly is cardio, right? If I have better cardio than you, it's going to show. Yeah. Right. I may not have the power, but I kind of picked up a little bit from the Diaz bros where I hit you with volume. Right. Yeah. I'm hitting you with volume and aggressiveness, though, that it's hard for people to match. Yeah. I know that I can do 2 minutes. I know that I can do 5 2-minute rounds. I've done 5 5-minute rounds in Cage Warriors before, and I felt great. So 5 2-minute rounds, that's not too much for me. That's nothing.
So it's almost then that you're pressuring your opponent that much. They do not have a chance to breathe, and obviously cardio can be king when it comes to fighting. So you're almost smothering your opponents is what you're looking to do, rather than just throw power shots and power shots.
Correct. I probably don't have the best boxing. I probably don't have the best striking there, but I'm a fighter and I'm in your face. And so far, everyone thought they had me figured out so far. Oh yeah, I can do this. Oh yeah, you're not going to do that to me. And nobody meets me in the middle. Yeah. Every single time they try to run away. So.
And look, you can't argue with results. Results at the moment are king, and your results have been perfect. Just lastly, before we let you go, what's next for you in Bare Knuckle? Then are we going to be looking at? Are you looking at a title next? What's the next fight you feel's there for you in Bare Knuckle?
So originally they had me. We're in a tournament, a 155-pound tournament. And I just won the last round, the first round. And there's supposed to be 2 more rounds, another round, and then the title round. But I know now they just had to cancel their last 2 shows. I don't know what their plan is. I'm down for super fights. I know Ross Pearson called me out on Instagram. I'd love to get in there and throw hands with him. I've trained with him a long time ago when he was getting into the Ultimate Fighter. He was at my school for 2 months.
So for you now, it's just about you seem like a man who's just enjoying himself at the moment. You're having fun in there, and would that be fair to say?
It's exactly that right now. You know, a year ago, my fight career was over. A little bit more than a year ago, I was going to focus on just my students and building new fighters. But now this new fire has been lit in me, and I'm legit just having fun. We're dancing in the back. I have my wife in my corner and 2 of my best friends, my boxing coach and my other best friend who's a big MMA promoter down here in Florida. And we have a good time. Before my fight against what's his name, the Julian Lane,
from the
we were out. we were out till like 1 o'clock in the morning the night before, and my cornermen were out at a bar. I was just there hanging out with them, just having a good time, being comfortable, not getting those jitters in me, you know. I hate just sitting at the hotel worrying about the fight, but I don't have that this time. And for me, I go in there and now I've just built this confidence with my hands. It could hurt me in the end. Who knows? Yeah. The new confidence, but. As of now, in my mind, no one's going to go in there and be able to keep up with me. So I'm going to keep it at that and just keep having fun.
Well, Jim, you seem like a fighter who's got a smile on his face and enjoying what he's doing, and I think that ultimately means that the fans watching are getting to enjoy your fight. So, listen, I look forward to seeing you back in there, and obviously I hope all is well out in Florida. And thanks for giving us some time during this current climate of everything that's going on at the moment.
Oh, for sure, man. My pleasure.
Listen, we'd love to get you back on after your next fight and have a chat again, Jim. Again, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you. Have a good one.
Thank you.